Welcome back, everyone. A warm good afternoon to all of you. Today, we are going to discuss the case note of Mr. Peter Jones. And here, our writing task is to write a referral letter to Dr. William Leo, ophthalmologist, Eye Care Specialty Hospital, Wales Street, New York, USA. So you are writing a referral letter, and that to an ophthalmologist. So you need all the details what an ophthalmologist has to know. At the same time, we have our task here, and the task is outline. It's not outtime. Outline needed medical and social details and request further assessment and management for Mr. Peter Jones. So one thing, you need to outline the medical details, the social details. The third one is to request further assessment and management. So writing task is very clear. To whom you are writing is clear. The type of letter is clear. Now let's go in detail. Yes, we're almost there. Yes. You are a Parkinson's specialized nurse who visits Mr. Jones monthly for follow-up and medication adherence monitoring. So your position is a Parkinson nurse, and you're visiting Mr. Jones every month for follow-up and medication adherence monitoring, since he has been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease since 2010, and he has been taking levodopa 550 or 70 a day. So this is what your position is. And you can say the social background, relevant social background is that he has no wife. His wife died in 2009, 11 years ago. And he is living in his own house with his son, Mr. James. Even though these details are not elaborated and should not be elaborated, we need to conceive it in the letter. So today's date, it's very important, 24 April. We have to mention that anywhere in the letter. Now let's go ahead the medical details here. Now, the medical details which are relevant to the ophthalmologist. It's not Parkinson's. We are not mentioning the condition Parkinson's to an ophthalmologist because it's not relevant for an ophthalmologist. An ophthalmologist need to know about his vision and his difficulties in vision, any medication which affects his vision, or something which adversely affects his vision or related things. So let us go ahead. On 24th of April 2021, he reported difficulty in vision. Floaters. Floaters means some sorts of dark web or gray web somewhere in the eyes when you see to a particular area. And blurriness over a month, dark areas or dark spots, and difficulty to perceive colors. These are the things that we can use. And 20 years use of spectacles, no improvement in vision. So this is something. Reading glasses use, no improvement in vision. So he has been using spectacles for 20 years, that is reading glasses. But it is not the condition that we are going to highlight. That is a subsidiary data here. Our problem is that the development of a susceptible diabetic retinopathy here. So this patient is a non-case of diabetic mellitus, as I can show you in the past history. He is a non-case of diabetes mellitus, hypertension, and glaucoma. All these things you have a past history. So we are suspecting diabetic retinopathy here, and something related to this is to be highlighted. So the presenting complaints which is related to diabetic retinopathy, it's not actually the reading glass which is to be highlighted. The highlighting things are different, so please be aware of that. Now, we made assessment and cataract is being ruled out, and he probably has diabetic retinopathy on both eyes. Now, I go with the patient education here. So because we are suspecting diabetic retinopathy, he has been advised to reduce his sugar level and diet and medication complaints, as well as we have referred to the ophthalmologist here. Upon the referral, the ophthalmologist have to determine the definitive diagnosis, and he is recommended to do a visual acuity measurement, fundoscopy, and medication for condition, and new eyeglasses prescription if necessary. So this is a requirement here. So let's go ahead and see what exactly, how we can present the letter. This is a model letter. So here today's date is mentioned, so we don't need to mention another date here, because you need to mention the date once, no repetition, because all things happens today. Dr. William Leo, ophthalmologist, this is the person to whom you are writing. Dr. Leo, the surname, and reference Mr. Peter Johns, aged 82. Now, let's move ahead with the purpose paragraph. I'm writing to request you a referral for Mr. Peter Johns. We made it short because we are requesting a referral letter. We are requesting a referral. So that's what we have mentioned, the first sentence. And he requires further assessment and management since he suffers suspected diabetic neuropathy, and the diagnosis is not confirmed. So suspected diabetic neuropathy. We can say since he is suffering with up to instead of suffers, no problem there. Today, the date is already mentioned, that's 24th. During monthly follow-up, yes, the condition when and during the monthly follow-up, and medication adherence monitoring. So this is the purpose of our visit. Mr. Johns reported difficulty in vision and color perception. So that's what we have seen in the case note. He reported difficulty in vision and color perception. We have rearranged it in order to fit to the sentence and to reduce the word count. He also verbalized floaters and dark spots, along with blurriness for a month. So his difficulties are mentioned in vision, color perception, floaters, dark spots, blurriness for a month, all these things. Further assessments ruled out cataract, so no cataract there. However, he is likely to be affected with the aforementioned condition on both eyes. So it is not on both eyes, it is in both eyes here. Therefore, he was advised to control, therefore he was advised to control his sugar intake and was asked to comply with diet and ongoing medications ahead of your referral. So you are being referred. So before that, we had advised the patient to control the sugar intake, and we asked him to comply with the diet and ongoing medications. And this is the relevant social data we have. Sorry. Yeah. Mr. Jones, a widower, is a known case of hypertension and diabetes mellitus for over a decade because he has had hypertension in 1995 and diabetes mellitus in 2010. So it is more than 10 years. So over a decade. So we are not specifically mentioning those years because it's more than 10 years. So that's why we have reduced it to a decade. He had a successful surgery for glaucoma in 2002. Why we are writing this is it's a relevant data for an ophthalmologist. If you are writing to someone else, this would not be relevant data here. And had a mild renal failure in 2019. And the reason why we have mentioned a mild renal failure because that this is being controlled with some diet or something like that. So it may have some effects in his, let me assess here. Yes, diet and medication. So he is taking medicines for mild renal failure. So this may have some impact if the ophthalmologist is prescribing some medications, because some medications can have impact in kidneys. So that's the reason we have. So he has been taking levodopa. Specifically, we have mentioned the name of the Parkinson drug here, because this is something which can affect the vision, probably. Instead of just mentioning he has been taking medications for Parkinson's disease, we have mentioned the name levodopa and the dosage and the duration. All these things we have mentioned here because this is relevant for an ophthalmologist. Ongoing medications. What is mentioned? We don't have data of his diabetic medication, which he has been taking from 1995. We don't have any relevant data given in the case note. So if it was given, we would have mentioned that too here. Okay, so we have mentioned levodopa because it may interfere with the vision. So it's important here. So the last sentence here in this paragraph is, however, he requires assistance of his son for medication compliance at present. So he has been taking medications for diabetes. He has been taking medications for renal failure. He has been taking medications for Parkinson's disease. So I have not mentioned all these things, but I have mentioned he needs assistance of his son for medication compliance at present. This is what mentioned in general. Okay, so it would be appreciated if you could attend Mr. Jones to confirm his diagnosis for definitive diagnosis and prescribe him the right medications. I can add prescribe him with the right medications. Okay, instead I can edit it later, but you can say prescribe him with the right medications. That's grammatically correct. It's recommended to have a visual acuity measurement, fundoscopy, and a new eyeglass for him if necessary. So why is if necessary is that you are going for a visual acuity test, fundoscopy, all the investigations are, so you are the specialist, you are the ophthalmologist, and you know it better whether he needs a new eyeglass or he can go ahead with the existing eyeglass. So that's up to you. So that's what we have mentioned, if necessary or if needed. So we have it in the case note as PRN. So that's it. We have concluded the body of the letter. And if you have any further queries regarding Mr. John's condition, please feel to contact me. Sincerely, Parkinson's specialist. So we have written and concluded that. Thank you. Wish you good luck.